name is Evelyn, and I'm a certified ANFP guide and currently Nature as a medicine practitioner under training. Today, I'm going to share with you the evidence-based research studies of how nature boosts team performance and creativity. I'll talk about what is creativity, how smart cities suppress creativity. Research studies suggest that exposure to nature boosts creativity, and why nature-based program to boost team performance and creativity in clinical setting. So what is creativity? Based on a book from Human Motivation by Robert Franklin, creativity is a tendency to generate or recognize ideas, alternatives, and possibilities that may be useful in solving problems. Creativity is a higher level cognitive function, and its key aspect is divergent thinking, the ability to generate multiple varied ideas or solutions to a problem. One of the earliest tests identified to assess creativity is the alternative uses test, developed by Guilford in 1950s. By asking individuals to generate as many unique uses as possible for common object like a brick. Remote Associate Test RAT is another tool developed by Matnick in the 1960s as a test used to measure creative convergent thinking by identifying a fourth word that shares a meaningful association with or recurring words. For example, sustainability, natural and pure, wellness for all, and the answer is holistic. So how can smart city suppress creativity? With increasing use of technology and multitasking, the prefrontal cortex mediate executive attentional system, selective attention, and threat detection systems become depleted with overuse. And not only the overuse of smartphones and social media affect cognitive function, but also affecting mental health, as mentioned in the book The Anxious Generation by social psychologist Jonathan Haidt. The NASA creativity test developed by Dr. George Lane in 1968 is a study that revealed a significant decline in creative thinking as people age. Initially designed to identify innovative thinkers for NASA, the test was administered to children and adults, showing that while 98% of 5-year-olds scored at a creative genius level, this percentage drastically dropped to just 2% by adulthood. This study highlights that creativity is innate, but often diminishes due to societal and educational influences such as judgment, criticism, censorship. Let's dive into some research studies which suggest that exposure to nature boosts creativity. Several research studies indicate that spending time in natural environments or even viewing natural scenes can improve performance on creativity tasks. One study is by Psychology Department of University of Utah in US in 2012, showing that 4 days of immersion in nature and the corresponding disconnection from multimedia and technology increase performance on a creativity problem-solving task by a full 50% in a group of naive hikers. 56 adults at the average age of 28 involved in the wilderness expedition run by Outward Bound. The study utilized a between subjects design with 8 hiking groups. Half randomly assigned to the pre-hike group and half to the in-hike group. The pre-hike group backpack in Alaska, Colorado, or Maine, and the in-hike group backpack in Alaska, Colorado, or Washington. And there was no communication between hiking groups. All hikes involved backpacking in wilderness for 4 to 6 days, and all participants were prohibited from using any electronic technology during the outing. A between subjects design was selected to avoid unwanted carry-over effects, including collaboration between participants. So the experimental design had different participants assigned to different conditions or groups. The pre-hike group completed the remote associate test RAT measure on the morning before they began their backpacking trip. The in-hike group completed the RAT measures in the morning of the 4th day or their trip. All participants were given an unlimited amount of time to complete 10 remote associate items, and primary dependence variable was the number of correct items provided out of 10 possible. The result found that the in-hike group were able to answer more RAT items than the pre-hike group. The second study is by Department of Horticulture and Landscape Architecture by National Taiwan University in 2022. Investigate the effects of different natural environments on attention, restoration, and creativity. This study categorized environment into 3 types of perceived naturalness and test the effects on one's creativity. 100 adults of age around 23 were invited to take the abbreviated Torrance test for adults ATTA, which measures creative thinking during the viewing of on-screen photo sets of the experimental stimuli for 30 minutes. In addition, this study asked participants to complete the Perceived Restoration Scale, PRS, questionnaires. The environment for the high naturalness group include ecological pools, farmland, and other environments dominated by natural elements. Whereas the environments for the low naturalness groups contain mainly artificial features. The main campus squares, sidewalks, driveways. The results show that high and medium perceived naturalness in the urban campus sites was superior to low perceived naturalness in creative performance. Higher perceived naturalness had the characteristics recovering one's attention. The originality, elaboration, and flexibility scores were significantly higher for higher perceived naturalness group than the lower perceived naturalness group. The third study is by University of Michigan Department of Psychology in 2008. 38 adults of age around 23 were recruited in experiment 1 to perform the backward digit span task, and are randomly assigned to take a 50 to 55 minutes walk in the Ann Arbor Arboretum or to walk in downtown Ann Arbor. The Arboretum walk was tree-lined and secluded from traffic and people. The downtown walk was largely on traffic-heavy Huron Street, which is lined with university and office buildings. After the walk, the participants were then repeat the backward digits band task. The performance on backwards digits band significantly improved when participants walk in nature, but not when they walk downtown. In experiment to 12 adults of age 24 were recruited to perform the backward digits band task, and the attention level tests ANT on their response to the direction of a centrally present arrow to see how nature impacts any of the three different attention functions: alerting, orienting, and executive attention. After viewing pictures of either nature scenery of Nova Scotia or urban setting, picture of Ann Arbor, Detroit, and Chicago, improvements were found only on the executive portions of ANT, which represents higher cognitive function, and only after viewing pictures of nature compared to urban areas. These experiments demonstrate the restorative value of nature as a vehicle to improve cognitive functioning. So why nature-based program to boost team performance and creativity in clinical setting? Healthcare workers with challenging working conditions and high stress levels that can lead to poor mental and physical health. Team creativity is essential to foster innovation and improvement in high-quality patient-centered care, according to a new study at Columbia University Mailman School of Public Health, as published in Healthcare Management Review in August 2025. But due to infection control, plants with soil and water container are not allowed in most of the acute clinical settings. And the only way is to build a sand therapeutic garden in hospital that can facilitate nature-based program for staff to relax and rejuvenate in urban cities. Not only good for staff, but also provide a sanctuary to promote healing and well-being for patients, relatives, staff through nature context. Besides, integrating nature-based practice like forest prep into global health and environmental framework is highlighted in the second International Conference on Forest Therapy, Healing with Nature, in August 2025 at the University of British Columbia, with the official release of the Vancouver Declaration on Forest and Human Health. In conclusion, teams who spend time in nature have better performance and creativity, as indicated in numerous studies. No matter it's a few days retreat in the countryside or a walk in the garden or simply looking at the photos of nature, it could boost staff performance and higher cognitive function. And this is very crucial in view of digital age with the health impact of overusing smart device and lack of nature activities. Thank you.